Hello. Hello, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Who's there? Let me see who you are so that I can say hello to you. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Welcome to Dr. Sunday Live Show today. Hello, Odi. How are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you for joining. I hope your Saturday has been really good. Hello, Innocent. Cook. Thank you. How are you? It's been a while, Innocent. Where have you been? I haven't seen you for some time now. Sylvia, how are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. I know it's Saturday today, so I'm really impressed to find you joining me at 7 p.m. here in Ukraine, which is 5 p.m. in UK and Nigeria. Good evening. Thank you. I appreciate you all, and the love and the kisses. I love it. Thank you so much. Sam David, how are you? Good evening. Igwe and his cabinet must know about this. Sam David, I recognize you. You're the Igwe and his cabinet must know about this in the evening. So welcome. Thank you for joining. Guys, do the honors, please. As you're coming in, please start to share immediately. Share with as many people as possible. There are 3 ways that you can share. That I know. You might know other ways, but I know that you can tag somebody. So how do you do that? The @ symbol, you can use that and write the person's name, no space in between, and it would mention the person. The person will note that you're watching this, and they will join you. And another way is by sharing, of course. That goes onto your page, and many other people will see that are on your friend list. They'll just see it if they're scrolling through your page. And another way is by you inviting people individually. So if you really want people to join us, you can invite them to come and watch this program right now, immediately. They'll get an invitation from Facebook saying that join. So hello, Paul, how are you? Sam David, Sylvia, Innocent, Odi, good evening. Thank you all. I appreciate you joining. Please remember to share this. Guys, a few announcements. First one is HMT, History Makers Training. I don't want anyone to miss History Makers Training. I think it's really important. It doesn't happen that often, and when it does happen maybe twice a year. And when it does, I really don't want anybody to miss out, because the testimonies I know about HMT has been tremendous, and everyone should be partakers in this, in the blessings, in the I don't know, I'm not that religious, so I don't really want to say blessing, but in opening your eyes, and in the goal, in accomplishment, let me say that, accomplishment that people have attained since coming for HMT. So please, guys, I would love if you would be able to attend. Please do so by completing the form, which is online on Dr. Sunday's page, or let me give you the actual website. It's sundayadelajablog.com/visit. So if you go to sundayadelajablog.com/visit, you will see a form. You can complete that form. You have about 2 weeks if you really want to come to this. If you need a visa, I think it's too late for visas. So we may come next time if you need a visa from wherever you are. But if you don't need a visa, you can still make it. You can still come, and we're still taking bookings. So that's HMT, History Makers Training. If you don't know anything about History Makers Training, the option that I have for you is to go to YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. That's Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube, and you will find a playlist. On that playlist, you'll see HMT as History Makers Training. Click on one of them and just watch the videos and make your own mind up on what you've seen and what people are saying. Look at testimonials as well of HMT. That will help you to make a decision. Another way is that if you know anyone on the platform or anyone that may have attended HMT, even if you don't, what you could do, if you're part of the chat group or DSA family, you can write a message to people and say, if anyone have attended HMT before, please let me know. I would really like to talk to you before I invest my time on coming here. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'm sure somebody will be able to give you their opinion. I don't know who you would find, but at least somebody will be able to help you in terms of how HNT is, if they've attended before. You will find many people that have, and not once, not twice. We have people who are attending several times, because each HNT is different, totally different, and it's worth coming each time. I mean, I've been to, I think, a couple now of HNT, and I can't wait for the next one. And this next one is from the 5th to the 12th of November. That's 5th to the 12th of November, and I'm really looking forward to meeting some of you that have already registered that are coming. I'm looking forward to meeting you, and I'm looking forward to the actual HMT as well, the speakers, the information that we're going to get. I just can't wait, and also the transformation that's going to happen in people's lives, and even also in my life as well, because each HMT, something really significant happens for me. You know, even if there's something that I wasn't able to do, or something that I couldn't see the light, I didn't understand very well, I get that understanding, I get the knowledge, I get the ability, the zeal to do whatever I need to do. And so I'm really looking forward to HMT. And also, guys, I'm going to show you some books in a bit. But before I do so, the reason I'm showing you these books are some of Dr. Sunday's books. If you know anyone that is in where you live in right now, and they are coming here to Ukraine, and you want to purchase the book, well, we'll send you, it's time that you start being nice. I said that yesterday, to be nice to people so that they can help you to bring some of these books, because we have a lot of books here that you can purchase from here, and actually they are slightly at a better discount rate than if you purchase them anywhere else. So we're just doing this because since people are going to be coming for HMT, they're going to be doing a lot of reading, so also we make the books a little bit cheaper as well for them. So if you want any books, several books, it's Christmas. Christmas is coming. It's a good opportunity for you to give people books. Give them some of these titles I'm going to show you in a little bit. I'm just waiting for Julie to help me out in the studio. So I want to show you guys some of the books that we have, because if I show it from this direction, you won't see it properly. It would be upside down. So if you're interested, you want the books, we have them, and you can ask people to help you to help you to bring this book, you know. So give them some money so that they can help you to purchase book here in Ukraine. And it's not just books. Also, if you remember, Dr. Sunday's Golden Jubilee magazine is also available. You can ask people to help you to get it. It's an historical magazine. It's not something you should take lightly. I said that time and time again, but for those who have already purchased it, I've had several testimonials, and you know, about this magazine, how great it is, you know, the information, the content of the magazine, the history in the magazine is just so great. You know, there's never been a time like now where preachers, or let's say individuals, prominent individuals, can document their life as they do now. You know, internet technology is avail of us of this, and it's in the Golden Jubilee magazine, so that is also available. So I'm just telling you all in advance now so that you can plan for it. So I'll start showing you the books one by one. I'm going to turn the camera so you won't see me for a few seconds, but you'll hear my voice. I'm going to start, before we start today's title, topic. Okay, here is one: where there is problem, there is money. I don't think I need to expatiate on this book. You know, it's not a review. I'm just showing you the books that are available. So that's it. Here, where there's money, where there's problem, there's money. This is an interesting topic for me because, you know, problem is something that we all run away from. And to have this knowledge, and the content, what is in this book, and have the understanding, problem will not be an issue for any of us anymore. So for that reason alone, I want to read this book. I want to grab this book, and I think you can give this book for Christmas gift or birthday gift to anyone. Anyone that reads this book would really appreciate it. So this is a great book. Where there is problem, there is money. You know, and I know, and I haven't read this book myself because Dr. Sunday has published, in 1 month alone, he published 50 books during his Golden Jubilee. So for me, I'm going through them one by one, but at the moment, I'm very much interested in the Nigerian books. So that's what I'm focusing on at the moment. But I will get to this book because I need it. I need this knowledge. Where there is problem, there is money. And believe me, I don't need to tell you, there are problems everywhere. So the next book that we have is Okay, how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. How to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. I know for non-Nigerians, you might be wondering and thinking, why is it that we want to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world? Why about other countries? What's going on with them? You know, but it's not just about Nigeria. This can be a prototype for any country. It can be a blueprint for any country. So you can remove Nigeria if you wish. How to make Ghana the greatest country in the world. How to make, even you can put your own name, how to make you the greatest person in the world. I think this is a fabulous book. I did a review with Dr. Sunday, and you know, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch, I can't wait to read this book. So this is a book that I think that is for everyone as well, not just Nigerian. Okay, let's go to the next one. So the next book we have is about Nigeria as well. How the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. This is an interesting one because, you know, it might not be something that we can actually see at the moment, but it's possible. But it says how. So it means that it's a possibility and we need to learn how. So again, this is another kind of a blueprint book. And it doesn't have to be Nigeria, it can be any country. So if you're interested in national transformation, this is a book for you. And I cannot wait to read this. It's going to be on my next to read book. Because again, I told you, I love to read about Nigeria now. Dr. Sunday has actually heightened my interest in Nigeria, and I can't wait to go to Nigeria, so I need to read this book. So how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. Thank you very much. Next one. Next book again is this, how to become a developed nation through the dignity of labor. How to become a developed nation through the dignity of labor. So this is important because, you know, I think sometimes, maybe I can speak for myself here, I don't really take work as something that I really want to get involved in. I used to think the work is too much. I really just want to work little and earn a lot, and all these false religious prayers that we used to pray. I think I need this book so badly, but it's going to be somewhere in my top 10 book that I'm going to read. So this is a book, How to Become a Developed Nation Through the Dignity of Labor. All Africans should have this. Thank you. Another book is What Do You Do With Your Time? You see this particular book, I love this book. I love this book for so many reasons. But the most important that I really want to share with you is that this book can be a gift to any age group, anybody, young people. Because when I was young, as a young lady, as a young girl, I never know what to do with my time after going to school, coming back, doing my homework. I just sit there. I'm not really that keen on TV, but I was forced to watch TV. And, you know, I didn't know what to do. So I think that this, and nobody ever even told me that, you know, this is what to do with your time. Nobody told me. Nobody discussed this with me. Everyone would just check on me in the room and say, oh, are you okay? I say, I'm okay. Maybe during that time, there was no phone as it is now. I'll be on the phone. But to actually know what to do with my time, I really do want to. I have goals and the things I want to do as an adult, but teenagers, as a young person, I think this book will really help them. So if you can give this as a gift for Christmas and purchase as many as possible of this book, you'll really be blessing someone. I believe so. So this is a great book, What Do You Do With Your Time? Excellent book. Okay, there's another one coming, which I think this is one of the books, especially if you live in the West. It's not just the West, because obviously we're saying with Nigeria and the Biafra and all this separation and restructuring and all this and that. When you read this book, you have a different understanding, you know, that we need to be different as individuals, just like God created us differently, and although He gave us all equal measures, but we need to understand other people's differences and accept their differences, and know that it's something really good about individuals to be different, not like us. I'm actually imbibing that in myself as well, because I do find it frustrating sometimes if people are not like me, but I shouldn't be like that. Logic tells me to be better as well. So I really want to learn how to appreciate people for their differences. So this book, How to See the in great, I can't see the word quickly, the uniqueness, okay, go back a bit please, thank you, the uniqueness in every person, you know, and I think we really need this. I cannot emphasize on this one enough, you know, how to see the uniqueness in every person. Thank you very much, Julie. The Law of Difference is a book that you must get, and I think you should get it for everybody that you know. Thank you. So there's another one. Oh gosh, this one, right? I cannot wait to read it. And this is just such a short read because this has only about 200 pages. I think books like this you could read in a day. It depends on you though. There's 7 tips to self-fulfillment. I sometimes like to save reading book, you know, like read something, digest it, work it out in my head before I move on. But if you're a fast reader, this one is one you can read in a day. 7 tips to self-fulfillment in life. Who doesn't need to know the 7 tips to self-fulfillment? Who doesn't need to have this knowledge? I need this knowledge, I need this understanding, and I think for Christmas, this would be a fabulous book for you to present to somebody. So if you want to, this is a book that you can ask somebody, even if you're not here in Ukraine, already all these books that I'm showing you, they are available on Amazon. So if you go onto Amazon, wherever you are, in which country, I know of .co and .com, and also the German one because of Julie. So if they would be under Amazon. I know it's not in Africa yet, but they're also available on Okada Books, or if you can contact Chioma. So this is another book that I think will be fabulous for you to get for somebody. Everybody, it doesn't matter who they are, would need this information. 7 tips to self-fulfillment in life. Thank you. And then we have the creative and innovative power of a genius. That's the creative and innovative power of a genius. This is another book that I really want to get. I've got already, and I really want to like read and get what it takes to be a genius. You know, I really want to understand, and I know that many people out there, if they are anyone like they are like me, right? You are probably somebody that think geniuses are born and not created. But since I arrived here, or since I've been listening to Dr. Sunday, I know that geniuses are actually created. They're not. They're not just born. You know, everyone is born, okay? But everybody else also can be a genius if you have the right principles and you apply them in your life. So this is another great book that I cannot wait to read. All right. There's some other books as well that I'd like to show you. The Nigerian books. I have read this. I've read a couple of the books that okay, yeah, I think I've already read. So this one I have read, and I have said a lot about this book already, but I feel like I haven't said enough. Okay, Nigeria and the Leadership Question. You know, this book is the one that actually led me to understand Nigeria's history. Especially with the leadership, with the country, what happened when, you know, before independence and after independence. This is a fantastic book, and this book gave me the ability to take responsibility as an individual for Nigeria. This gave me the mindset that there's a possibility, Nigeria is a gold mine. And the leadership question is not about leaders, it's about me as an individual, and I need to work on it. But there's so much more to this book that I can tell you. Again, it's a solution book. If you're Nigerian or you're from any other country that needs help, that needs development, that needs transformation, this is a book for you. So I'll urge you to really consider this book for that. And you can give any leaders that you know, they will love it as well. There's another book about Nigeria, which I absolutely love. This book should be chewed all inside out. I love this book. Only God Can Save Nigeria. What a myth. I mean, take away Nigeria, right? I will talk about it being a book about Nigeria, but Only God Can Save Mayowa. What a myth. This book, again, got me thinking about how I am waiting for something that God has already given me, the ability, and he gave so many examples of people that have done great things in their lives and how they did it, what prompted them to doing it. This is a fantastic book. Only God Can Save Nigeria. What a myth. Only God Can Save me. What a myth. I totally took responsibility for my life, for what goes on in it after reading this book. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame God. I don't, expect anything from any other person other than they do their best and I do my own very best. This is a fantastic book. You must get it on, actually give it to other people. And I know religious people might have a problem with the fact that the title says only God can save Nigeria, what a myth, you know, about the what a myth part of it, especially Nigerians, because this is their anthem. Only God can save Nigeria, only God can save Nigeria. If God can save Nigeria, why are you here? You know, God has already saved Nigeria. You need to do something. I took responsibility for Nigeria after reading this book. It's a fantastic book. This one, according to Dr. Sunday's description of it, I haven't read this one. It says, insulted by ungodliness, that you will get really upset when you start to read this book, and you get real upset about religion, you get upset about the things, the doctrines that they try to put in place. Again, I think it's a short read. You can read this maybe in a day. Raising a generation of the provoked in every nation. So this is what you will rise up after reading this book, and you know, all these dogmas, religious atrocities, you will rise up after reading this. If you want to be a transformer or somebody that you already have issues with unfairness, or maybe cabal, religious cabal, this book will get you more geared up to do something about it. So Insulted by Ungodliness is a must-have. Another book, oh my God, this one, I don't need to sell this book to you. How to Build a Secured Financial Future. If you want to build a secure financial future, just get it. It's as simple as that. You know, those on these books are really, really point. And if he writes a title, that title will deliver. And you know, one other thing that I discovered with this book is that it just opens your mind so much more. It opens your mind to so much greatness that you cannot imagine until you start to read them. So absolutely, How to Build a Secure Financial Future is a must-have. It says in the subtitle, it says, it does not matter how much you make, if you are ignorant of the laws of money, you will never be rich. This is a very, very true statement. And you know, I think this one and Money Won't Make You Rich would be a good combination to read if you haven't read both already. The Mountain of Ignorance. You know what? I read this book and I felt, you know, okay, the word ignorance, right, is not a word that I use on myself at all, or I even consider as something that anyone will use on me and say you're an ignorant. But after reading this book, I must confess to you, there are various types of ignorance, and I identify myself to be, if not all of them, at least 10 out of the 12 I think are in this book. And it was such a shame that I almost cried reading this book, because I did not even know that I was an ignorant. I think that's the definition of ignorance, not knowing. But you know, you can actually be an ignorant without knowing that you are. And this book actually opened my eyes to so much more. And actually, the understanding in there gave me a better life, a better relationship with people. So this is a must read. People might find it offensive, but if you give it to them as a gift, because I was going to suggest it as a book for Christmas. But if you know somebody and you have a good relationship with them, please get them this book. They will thank you after reading it. They will thank you. At first, they might be upset, but later on, they will come and thank you for it. So it's a great book. Oh my God. Guys, this book has caused so many people to resign from their job. Okay? So, and do great things. So they resign. It's not that they resign and they're not doing anything at home. They resigned and they become entrepreneurs. People that are bold. People that their eyes become open. You know, Stop Working for Uncle Sam is a great book. It's got really good reviews. You want to really read this, and it's got really good testimonies. I actually spoke to somebody that read this book yesterday, and the person is been a professor, like a maths teacher in school in England, and he was telling me that after reading that book, he just couldn't stay in that job. He couldn't stay in the job anymore. You know, he thought of other ways. He started thinking of other ways what to do with his profession, even being in the same profession, but something else to do, to be a blessing in the profession, to be an entrepreneur in the profession. And now he's got his own business and he's working on doing various things, not just as a maths teacher. He's doing other things. He's writing curriculum for the school. It's helping with young people. It's helping with urban children that are living in cities, and helping them to write materials, policies, because it read Stop Working for Uncle Sam, a brilliant book. Okay. How to Regain Your Lost Years. This book is a book that I actually got for so many people, because I know that people don't know where to start with a lot of things, you know, that has happened, that has transpired over the years, especially in religion, especially in relationship, marriage, you know, even having children, you know, all sorts of things that actually steal you from who you are. Also, they have the good points as well. All those things that I mentioned, they also give you happiness, they give you some things. But a lot of people have lost time because they think that they will get what they need from this. But this book is an amazing book. How to Regain Your Lost Years is a must-have for everybody, because one way or the other, we've all lost years. It doesn't matter even if you're a teenager, you've lost years, because we don't know everything as we ought to know. And if you know how to regain those years, why not? This is a book for you. I think you should definitely get it. Thank you. And then, Money Won't Make You Rich. Money Wouldn't Make You Rich. I read this. I read it when I was in England, actually. And I couldn't believe it, that anyone could even put a title like this, Money Wouldn't Make You Rich. But guess what? It is true. When I read the book, I realized that I don't know how to manage money. Even though I worked in the financial sector for so many years, I know that I didn't appreciate money. I didn't know the value of money. I learned how to save, what money to save, how to invest. So much in this book that, you know, this book itself can be a thought, you know, like can be a literature for financial school all over the world. It's a brilliant book, and I think it's a must-have for you to help to manage your finances. This book, I understand that this book is one of Pastor Boss's, this is Pastor Sunday or Dr. Sunday to you, favorite book. She absolutely loves this, and she's not a woman of many words. If she loves something, then I'm saying that this thing is worth checking out. It's worth it for you to look into this book. And it's about Miles Monroe finding answers to why God's good people die tragic and early death. I haven't read it, but I heard that it's one of the best books, and it's actually Pastor Boss's favorite. That's Pastor Sunday's, or Dr. Sunday to you, wife. Okay, so I'll go for it as well. It's on my list. I'm going to read it. The Kingdom Driven Life. You know, this book, I know many people that have read this book, and their life has not been the same, especially with regards to being a Christian. This particular one, have changed so many people's lives in terms of being a Christian and knowing their place, why they're sent here, what God wants them to do. This is a brilliant book. I think it's worth getting. The Kingdom Driven Life. You can get it for maybe pastors and maybe clergy people, or ministers in church for Christmas. I think this might be a good one for them. And then we have this one, Life is an Opportunity. This book I did some editing on, and believe me, this book changed my life. Life is an opportunity, because there's so many things that are just around the corner from me, beside me, around me, in my community, in my environment. I take them for granted. After reading this book, I never take anything or anybody for granted. Everything that I see and anywhere that I find myself is an opportunity. This book is a book that made me realize that the verse in the Bible that says that all things work together for good for those that love God, I think it is. This book made me realize that truly all things work together for good, and everything around me is an opportunity. So I should grab it, and grab it with real common sense. This is an amazing book, and I will urge you to check this book out. And then this book is another book that I think you can read in a day. You can read over and over again. This is Create Your Own Net Worth. Create Your Own Net Worth. This is a beautiful book. I think everyone should have this, because we should all have our own net worth as well, what we are worth. And I think it's a lot about value and making yourself valuable to everyone in the world. Making yourself valuable in the world. It's a fantastic book, so give it a read. Church Shift. Okay, this is a very serious book. And this book, I saw so many pastors reading this book, but I think if you're really interested in ministry, or you just want to understand churches and ministry, then it's a must read for you. Church Shift is a must read. So that's all I can say about it. I think it's a very good book. And then the final book I'm just going to show you that we have here. There are more books on Amazon. Please check them out. Poverty Mindset versus Abundance Mindset. Poverty Mindset versus Abundance Mindset. You know, even if I'm not even ready or prepared to read this, the fact of the abundance mindset, I really want to read it. I don't really like to read all these things about poverty because I'm not interested in knowing. But you know what? This is an old way that I used to operate. And for myself, I think it's a must-read book to understand how to have the right mindset and the mindset that you need to be who you're supposed to be. So Poverty Mindset versus Abundance Mindset is a great book for you to purchase. So thank you very much, Miss Julie. So guys, I'm back. I had to turn the camera so that you would be able to see the right way around. Let me read your comment. Hello Chinwe, thank you for joining. Justine, good evening, thank you for joining. Hello Stella, thank you. Hello Yinka, good evening. Sam David, I said hello. Oninye Chuku, good evening. Thank you for joining. Oriyomi, good evening. Thank you for joining. Can one order the books to be delivered in the UK? Okay, Sam David, right? There are people coming from the UK for HMT. So I will say yes to you, right? But this is how I'm going to do this, right? If you agree, I think it would help. What we'll do is that you can contact us through Facebook Messenger to say the books that you want or look at the books that you want. And if anyone that comes from England, I would ask them. And then what I would do is also ask you to contact that person, to speak to them, to get engaged with that person and ask them to help you to bring the book. So I would do my part to say, can you help Sam to bring these books? And then you would also do your part, because you know people just feel like with carrying stuff for others they feel somehow, but I think that it is possible. So let's do that. Okay, this is the whole reason why I'm telling you about this book now, but this is how it's going to work. Just ask people nicely and I'm sure they will help you. Thank you for that question. Hello Tunde, good evening. Oluwaseun, good evening. Cadence, good evening, thank you for joining. Jane, good evening, how are you? Gulam, how are you? Thank you for joining. Hello, Auntie Comfort, good evening, thank you for joining. David, hello, good evening, thank you. Yinka Michael, good evening. Samara, good evening, thank you. Tina, how are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining. Please share with as many people as possible. Josephine, good evening. Paul, good evening. Thank you all. I think I've said hello to everyone that I can see. Then your comment, can't it be delivered here in Nigeria? David, we have somebody that sells Dr. Sunday's books in Nigeria. But if I do find somebody coming to Nigeria, I will help you with the logistics for it. So you can just get in touch with me through Facebook Messenger, Mayowa Olaya, and I will try my best to get it to you in Nigeria. If Chioma don't have the books already, but I believe she does have copies of these books. Can it be ordered on Amazon for USA? Yes, absolutely. That's Jacqueline. All these books can be ordered on Amazon. So go ahead and order. You can order them electronically and you can order them as a paperback. For those people that have phones and other devices, let me just tell you a little trick if you don't know already. If you have like an iPhone, you can actually put the phone Kindle onto your iPhone and order on Amazon. So you just have it as an electronic version. So you don't have to actually have a Kindle device itself, but you can have the Kindle apps. So I think that might help you. And also the Kindle versions are cheaper as well. So that's just a suggestion if you prefer that. There are discounts on this book from what it is on Amazon. So if you want to purchase here, it's cheaper. If you want to purchase it on Amazon, you know, Amazon put their own thing on it. So go ahead and purchase on Amazon, whichever one is convenient for you. Can anybody, oh yes, I've answered Jacqueline. I've answered David as well. And I've answered who else asked the question? Thank you. What's the cost of all together? Sam David, I haven't worked out the cost of everything together, but I will give you a really good discount. If you tell me the books that you want, I will give you a very good discount. Dr. Sunday is not keen on, it doesn't do anything with money. So I'll give you a discount. If you want this book, I'll make sure that you get it at an excellent price. So give me a call on a contact or connection on Messenger. So Messenger will be the best bet of communication for us, and then I will give it to you at very good rates. All hail Biafra. That's Onyin Chiku is saying all hail Biafra. Thank you very much. Oriyomi, okay, thank you very much. Can one order the books to be delivered? Oh, yeah, I've answered that. Thank you. So I've answered some of those questions about books. Thank you very much, Yinka. How are you? Are you going to talk about the book today? No, I'm not. I'm sorry, I've taken a lot of your time already. I'm not talking about book, but in the time that we have left, can we discuss the title that I have there, which is about Dr. Sunday's teaching last night? I just thought it would be nice for us to touch base on that teaching. It's a very interesting teaching, and it's poignant for what we know that is happening currently with all the preachers and with no, we're not about preachers actually. It is more about belief systems that we have. And I found that teaching yesterday very interesting. Is how to deal with sorcerers. How to deal with sorcerers. I almost pronounced it incorrectly. I'm very prolific for pronunciation. So how to deal with sorcerers. And what I find very interesting, because I don't really know much about sorcerers, I'm not even interested in sorcerers. Those things then don't even get me anywhere at all. I'm like a I'm not religious, like I always say, and I'm not a superstitious kind of person. I don't really care for those kind of things. But there's some explanation in Dr. Sunday's teaching yesterday that really got my attention, and I thought maybe that got your attention as well, especially his reading, his teaching notes yesterday. I thought it's interesting, and if you guys have anything to say about this, please feel free. You can contact me on Move Agents, and you can talk directly right now during this live broadcast. Just talk about whatever you want to talk to in relation to this subject. Share your thoughts and your opinion on this subject, which is the last night's teaching. If you were if you participated in last night's teachings, it would be good if we hear your contribution to it. How was it for you? What did you understand? I will share what I understood with this teaching and what has really taught me a lot of things that I really want us to discuss in the time that we have left. Kenny Day says, well done, Maya. Please, how could I get the books delivered to me in Nigeria? Okay, Kenny Day, you can get the books delivered to you in Nigeria, and the way to get it is, number one, Chioma is in Nigeria. She also has Dr. Sunday's book for order, so if you want to purchase them. And if she doesn't have them, you can contact me and I will get in touch with you on how I can get the logistics to you in the books logistics to you in Nigeria. So please feel free. LOD, how are you? Thank you for joining. So please feel free to contact me on Messenger. So there's some points that were raised yesterday. The part that I was telling you personally that I found really encouraging, should I say, it's about, I know I might not be superstitious, but many people all over the world are very superstitious, especially in Africa. And Dr. Sunday was talking about history of Africa, and also he was reading a book out to us to show us how certain things were in Africa. And when he talked about Ajayi Crowther, I think his name is, who is the person that brought Christianity to Nigeria. And he's a Nigerian guy, but I think he grew up in England. And what happened, that was in 18-something, that was a long time ago. And there were places where people were living, when really negative things happened, like they killed people. First of all, okay, I'm jumping now. First of all, it was talking about how there was so much superstition in Nigeria, and how we were all sinners, even our fathers, our ancestors. That they used to kill innocent people. They used to shed blood for so many things, and it was all like witches and wizards and idolatry. So all those things going on in Africa, and when Christianity came, how Christianity changed that. And how we changed it for good. And it told us a story about a part where there was a land that was kind of like forbidden to purchase because of all the First of all, because they killed a lot of people in there, they buried people under the land, and the people of the land believe that that land is a doomed place and is full of curses and evil. And because of the God that this Ajayi Crowder and his group believed in, they went ahead and they said, give us the land and leave the juju to us. The juju was like a lizard, superstitious lizard that does certain things. Everybody in the land was mostly afraid, but apart from these Christians that came to these people, Ajayi Crowder and his people, they were not afraid. They believed in God. They were not superstitious at all, and they were able to conquer all those things that people used to be afraid of. And I'm thinking this was like in 18 something. So we're going back. It's almost like a full circle. I feel like what we're doing and what we're understanding now, we will be the generation to also stop all the superstitions and all the things that is going on in all these non-Christian so-called churches and the denominations that will tell you to bring this, bring that for you to be saved, or trying to deliver you from this, deliver you from that. It was like that right from very early age, also in Africa, and that was stopped by Christianity. So we can do it again. And I find it very, very intriguing, So, okay, so Gabriel is asking that we add them to the WhatsApp group. Okay, we will do that. I'll make sure that we get your number copied and add you to the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. So the point here really is that we used to be all these things, idol worshippers, and, it told a story about kings. When they're going to come out of the house, they have to shed blood before a king comes out. So if the king is coming out of the house several times, they'll shed blood, and all this was stopped. And nothing happened to those people, even killing of twins and all those things that used to happen and is no longer. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I actually thought, okay, thank God I don't believe in superstition or anything like that. But a lot of people that have influence, they do. And a lot of parents as well, or older people, they pass on this superstition to their children. And because you trust them, you love your parents, you love your family, you believe it, and you love your pastors, you love prophets and all those things. We believe them, and we carry these things that are so wrong, that are not of God, they're not to be believed. We carry them in our head, and we also start to operate on the level of these non-truths. So I just want to know your opinions about it before we close today. I know we don't have that much time. We've got about, let's say now, we've got probably 20 minutes remaining, but I really want to know your opinions on the teaching, what you learned yesterday. And also we had some really interesting calls yesterday. Some people sharing their testimonies. It was really good, and sharing their thoughts on the teaching. What are your thoughts? You can call through Move Agents. That's Madik Move Agents. It's called Madik on Facebook. Madik, M-A-D-I-C. Madik. So call through that if you want to speak directly. If not, you can just write your comments in the comment section. But these are the key points that was raised yesterday. Also, I really do want to. I don't want to go too much into the Bible part of it, because I think that should be left to somebody that has the knowledge of the Bible. But I just want to go to plain, simple things that are very easy to understand. So how Paul and Barnabas were not perturbed by the fact that Elmas was a sorcerer. That's not what pissed them off. So that part of the teachings that Dr. Sunday taught yesterday was, I think Elmas was the wicked principalities, because Pastor also shows principalities, right? Elimas. Okay, Julie just corrected me there. Elimas. So Elimas was just like maybe is one of the satanic hierarchy, but they were not perturbed by what Elimas did. Which is Paul and Barnabas. They were more keen about. They were not perturbed about him, but about what he did. If I'm making sense. So they wanted to stop him. And Pastor Dr. Sunday did show a demonstration on that yesterday, where a young lady, a young lady, and then let's say, was it pronounce it for me. Elymas, yeah? Elymas demonstration. Elymas was trying to do something to a young lady. Let's say this is the congregation, or maybe this is the children of God. And what Paul and Barnabas were keen to do was just to protect that atrocities from happening, rather than trying to hurt or kill Elymas. They were not interested in killing Elymas. They were interested in making sure that he doesn't do the atrocities. So this is really interesting, because for those of us that pray, fall down and die, enemies must die and all that, that is a big lesson for me, because you try to stop the problem that is happening, but you're not trying to kill the person. Because, as a child, I remember they used to tell me that what you didn't create, you shouldn't kill. That including like bees, because as children, when you see certain things, you just want to like, oh, kill. Some children are different. Some children want to play with them, but I think for me, I used to want to, I want to kill this, and they used to say things like, don't destroy what you cannot create. That's just an easy way, but that's not. It's not because I cannot create it that I shouldn't destroy it. I shouldn't destroy it because it's not good to destroy it. So it was really interesting for me, anyway, that. The Paul and Barnabas were not interested in hurting the guy. They disarmed the guy, but it's not so that he doesn't do what he wants to do. But they want the guy also to be saved. They want to protect the guy from committing something that is wrong. And that is just all Christianity all over for me. Again, this is what makes Christianity so interesting, so loving, such a caring, let's say, faith to have, and God as well. This is what makes God and makes Jesus great for me, because it's never ever about the person, the sinner, the person doing something in terms of hurting that person. It's about the person in terms of loving that person, but it's not about the person in hurting the person. There's a difference in that, and I think a lot of people get it wrong, where it's always about the person, either it's good or bad. When it is good, right, it is about the person. That person did great. You need to give honor where honor is due when they do something good. But when they do something that is bad, don't focus on their person anymore. Just focus on that bad thing that they've done and try to stop that bad thing, rather than stop the person totally, like this, like kill the person. So this stems from the wrong interpretation of the Bible, and people will say, suffer not a witch to live, do this, do that, so that they will justify them praying all these negative prayers, that something should happen negatively to somebody else, to another creation, another of God. That God is still hopeful, that will come and believe in him, that will be saved. But we don't give that person a chance. We don't give people a chance. We just want to shoot them down, kill them, get them out as soon as possible. But that also says a lot about us, and it says a lot about the God that we serve, that we don't even trust that God to even help that person to develop, to be a better person, to change that person. We think that person's story is done, is over, because of the bad thing that they did. When, that person's story is not over, it's not done. God has still got plans for them. God still wants to do something for them. But we pray, God fall down and die. Every household enemy must die. Who are the household enemy? They are people like us. And those are some of the history that he was telling us. He was telling us the history to make us remember that even we were enemies, because we were enemies of God. If we kill people, if we believe in a tradition and we're living in the world, we're living in a city, or let's say we're living in a country where from idol worshippers, we were idol worshippers. Even England, many years ago in the maybe 18th century, all these things were happening. They kill people anyhow. They were barbarians. They do anything anywhere. But when you come to enlightenment, when you come to God, and you're knowledgeable, that it's important that you preserve people's life. Right, and you deal with the problem, not deal with people's life as though it's just a commodity that you can get and throw away. Life is really important. God created people, and He created them for a reason, and they need to execute that reason, even for life, for you to also be better. So that was really, really interesting for me, and it gave me a total change of mind. It gave a total change mindset of even how to deal with individuals, even people that I call my friends, that I love. Sometimes when they do something wrong to me, I condemn them totally because of one thing that they did. it's like that's the end of the story with me. And it's totally wrong. It's, that in itself is not right. It's demonic, if we want to be honest. When we look at people through the step of what they've done wrong, or what they, we look at them, we identify with them on what they're not doing right. And this is a huge lesson for me. I can see, okay, I don't know what the question you're asking for me, Keperichi, is like, please, why is religious schools in Nigeria very costly to the point that most of their members can't afford to go there, unlike the white missionaries that brought gospel to us with free education? Sir, could you please address the issue so that the upcoming ministers would have a different concept, at least to make it affordable to everybody? I think that's what you're saying. You've got a good point that you're raising, right? But I wouldn't be able to give you the answer why, other than greed. And maybe we should ask them. What's that? Oh, we've got a caller. But let me just finish this, right? We need to ask them as individual. And also, two other things I want to mention that, yes, Dr. Sunday has addressed this before, and he keeps addressing the religious cabals. You need to look at Dr. Sunday's teaching on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official, and look at the ask. I think this question has been addressed. But the important thing here is that you yourself can do something about this. First, you can contact those people and tell them and write to them and say why they're doing this. Secondly, don't go to those schools. You boycott those schools. If there's nobody attending, then they can't charge. They'll have to put the prices down. It's a simple math. That if nobody is buying these goods, then those goods are useless. So tell people, and people should use their own mind and not attend this kind of schools. It's not worth attending this type of schools because you're encouraging these things to happen. And the third thing that I also want to mention to you is that you yourself can make those changes. I know Dr. Sunday is addressing a lot of issues, but don't count yourself that you don't have a voice. You also have a voice. Talk about this, make this known to other people, your opinion, what you think, and look for solutions. Talk about solutions, talk about what they could do differently, and you yourself can be a voice. Don't think that only Dr. Sunday needs to carry everything and do everything. We also need to do something as individuals. So I really urge you, I like the question, and I like the fact that it's on your mind, but you also need to do something. Don't leave it to other people to do when we also are a voice. We are Christ's voice. God created you because you're a voice. God doesn't come down and speak. You have to speak for God. So do that by telling the other people, sharing your opinion about this, sharing your voice about this, and I think people will hear you. I can see Aisha sending me love. Thank you so much, Aisha. I appreciate it. So we have a caller. Let's hear the caller. I'm excited. I can see Aisha sending me love. Thank you so much, Aisha. Okay. Let's hear the caller. I'm excited. I can see Aisha sending me. Why? Are you playing the program in another tab? Yeah, okay. Hello? Who's on the line?
Oh, it's Innocent.
Innocent! Hello, Innocent!
Happy to hear from you, Maiwa.
I'm excited to hear you.
And Julie, you guys are doing a very great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I just got to share, to show my appreciation for this teaching because it's going to liberate a lot of people.
Thank you.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't include this part of my show with you guys the last time.
Oh. Because
I'm from a polygamous home myself. My father is married to two wives. So I had this experience where my mother was afraid at some certain point that I was going to be harmed by the second woman because she was into this fetish stuff and her mother they're so into do stuff. So I remember going back home 2014 and she wouldn't let me see them because she was afraid and that the woman was jealous that her children haven't traveled abroad yet. Why will I travel to abroad to study and do this stuff? So my mother was so scared. She said, "Don't go and see them." She said, "Don't go." So I recall in the past I used to be afraid of this woman specifically and her mother because where she would be offering me food and then I would be afraid to eat, probably she might want poison me or something like that. And then I remember bad dreams, nightmares I had of myself fighting snakes and all those things, and then maybe seeing some mountain falling on me. And now when I would dream, I would wake up with sweat, like sweating physically, you know. So not until I lost my belief on religion and superstition in general, not until then, those dreams stopped totally.
Wow.
I don't have any dream anymore. I don't remember the factor actually that was controlling my mind was just ordinary fear. It was fear that created all those visions, all those dreams, all those hallucinations one have in mind. So the reason why I'm celebrating this DSA teaching is because the teaching is it will help to take away fear from people's mind. For the last teaching he did, he was talking about people glorifying this demonic power, these sorcerers, glorifying them above the promise of the Bible. God already said you are above, that this power cannot harm you. So the only factor that is affecting them is that fear in mind. Just ordinary fear can bring you down. Fear can create images in your mind. And if I tell you today, I see people putting flowers in graveyard, you know. I experienced another example of a young lady that was adopted by a certain family. I'm telling you, it pained me so much in her, because this small girl, she was accused, the mother was sick. A pastor, some white garment church, pastor told them that it's the little baby in the house that is causing their mother to be sick.
Wow.
The boy now, he got his business destroyed, fire, catched up, and then the pastor told him that it's a little baby. They beat the little girl, they forced her that she should confess. Poor girl, she was just looking at them, she was just crying, helpless. Her family are from one village like that, they don't even know what's going on with their daughter in the city. Just beat her up. The boy beat her. Because of anger, he poured very hot water in her body.
Oh, no.
She got burnt.
Oh, no.
In the skin here. So very, 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 very painful experience. And another friend again that cancelled his marriage. They had the woman from the family. They cancelled their marriage because they said that the boy in his family, that they have this generation curse that is following them, so the girl should not marry into that family, that it will affect them and some stuff. So I see the damage this superstition is really, really causing on people. And the only factor causing all these things is fear. Fear in the mind, just fear. So once you lose that fear, nothing else, nothing again will harm you. Not like you will just be free totally. So this DSA teaching is really, really good. It's helping a lot of people to be able to see, to be able to lose that fear.
Yes,
like I said, I was very afraid in the past, and those dreams that I used to have, those nightmares, seems real to me. I don't know how I lost this fear. I don't really know. Even right now until today, like hearing about this, talking of sorcery, I grew up in an environment, in a family, in a culture where they talk about this witchcraft. You hear testimonies, you hear this other person died, the next door they tell you there's a witch that killed the person. You hear this person harmed, you hear this person stealing, they tell you this thing happened to this person. But how I came up totally disbelieving all these things is something I cannot explain today. And I still find it very, very, very difficult, like going back into it, you know. Probably I feel so comfortable now that since I've lost that fear in my mind, I feel comfortable at this state of having this state of mind. And say, why should I go back to that state of mind in the past that creates this atmosphere of fear that makes you to just tremble?
Yes, it paralyzes you.
So that is just the factor, just fear in mind. So this teaching is very important, helping people to get rid of that fear, to confront what they are facing in general. So I think it's the best thing. And I'm trying to look, my capacity is so limited here. I'm trying to look how I can promote these messages to get to more people, trying to talk to friends. I don't keep quiet, most of them. I need more ideas how I can promote this message, because we're suffering.
Yes, people are
suffering. We're suffering from Africa.
Do we have your WhatsApp number? Do we have that?
Yes, I can send it to you.
Okay, you can send it to me.
We asked us to type it another day.
Okay, we've got it. You can just send it so that I can confirm it. Because we're sending all those messages also on WhatsApp. Julie is doing a fantastic job with that. So you get the messages, because WhatsApp will be easier, for you to send it to other people.
Honestly, they need it.
Yes.
We need this. Kudos to you and Julie.
Thank you.
You're trying. All right.
Thank you very much, Innocent. Thank you. Wow, what a story, Sometimes, when I want to say what a story, I want to say it's not a story, it's actually a real life experience. Because sometimes we really trivialize story as something that really didn't happen. But gosh, the one about the little girl was really heartbreaking. But you know what? It's still happening right now. Probably as we're speaking right now, it's happening to somebody. Somebody is being demonized, hated for being called a witch, or said that the person is a witch. And even some of us, or some of you right now that are watching me, you are so afraid of somebody that you're treating them so badly. You're not talking to them. You're not going to your father's house. You're not going to your mother's house. You're not going to your relative's house because somebody has demonized them. And the real perpetrators of this are also, which is so embarrassing, so I'm ashamed to say this, are pastors telling you that your wife is a witch, your husband is a witch, your children are witches. Even if those people are those things, right? Well, you have a powerful God that is powerful enough to deal with them. It's powerful enough to protect you from them. So it's not your concern. Your concern is just do what God has said to you, which is to love them. It's not, even if they are, let them be whatever they want to be, But I just feel my heart is broken right now, with this story, and I can't really. I just feel like, a young child, what is God about that? What's compassion when a pastor tells you that somebody is a witch? Why don't you love the person? Why don't you take the child to the pastor and say, you are a pastor, pray for my child, pray for this child, pray for her, so that God is more powerful than any witches or anything. Pray, you do this so that this witch goes, because the God that I believe in is a compassionate God. Why is it that it's necessary for you to go and beat the child and pour hot water on the child? This is really bad. Some of us, we're not pouring hot water on people, but we're isolating them. We stop speaking to them. We stop seeing them. We stop being people's friends because of what we're told or what we believe about them. And all these superstitions, we should never operate on fear. With the Spirit of God, if you have God in you, you should not be afraid of anything. Any of your responses or your operation should never be based on fear. It should be based on love every time. Don't operate on fear, and look at this testimony that Innocent has given us. It came from a broken home. It came from things that are so negative being said about other people because of the broken home. And this is very typical of Africa. If a man marries a different woman, leave that house if you don't want to be in that polygamous home. It's your right to leave. But to stay there and create these atrocities of animosity, enmity amongst each other, and saying one is a witch, one is not a witch, and it's from all parties. I'm not even pointing fingers on any one party here. And if that's the way you want to operate, leave that setting. Come out and, what's the word? Pick race, that pastor always says. Dr. Sunday always said, pick race. Pick race instead of you developing this atrocity, damaging your children, damaging the people, relations around each other. We should never operate on love. We should never operate on hate or fear. Never operate on fear. Every operation should be with love, on love. Base everything on love, nothing else. It's very simple. It might not be so simple because we're used to the opposite side, but we can change. We are capable of changing and being who God wants us to be. So let's really practice doing the right thing. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Dr. Sunday will be back with you shortly. So that is in less than an hour now. Yes, it's less than an hour. Dr. Sunday will be back with you. Please stay tuned. Come back. Invite many people as well, because we all need this. If I have this understanding and I'm not afraid, but everybody around me, they're afraid. They think of witches and witches have got more power, and they believe in these pastors and these witch doctors, or should I say traditional doctors. I don't know. Some doctors, they believe in them and they're operating with those wrong belief systems, then even if I'm living in that world is not it's not perfect for me, it's not good for me. That environment is not good for me, despite the knowledge that I have. And this is why it's important that we all share as much as possible. We share the truth as much as possible, and we also be the examples of what we want to see in the world. We need to operate in that that belief system of love, that is all about love, not fear. We should never operate on fear. Don't respond on fear, don't do anything on fear. I am learning that, because I also think, okay, this is this, and then I'm creating solutions based on fear, but it's not even a solution, it's just wrong. You know, and when it's wrong, it's wrong. There's nothing I can use to hide it or hide underneath. Is wrong. All operations should be on love only. Okay, I hope I am in the right place. Agent of change movement. Yes, change movement. Yes, you are, but we're finishing now, John Michael. So please come back. We will be back in less than an hour, in about 50 minutes. Dr. Sunday will continue his teachings. These teachings are explosive. These teachings, please invite as many people as possible. Thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate it. I appreciate Innocence. Thank you for calling. Guys, I really love your comments and what you've added. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. So we'll see you shortly. Have a good evening, or have a little break. Go and have a little break. And for those who put their numbers, I will add you onto the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.